At the Auto Authority, we're all about helping you make smarter car decisions, and today, we're diving into 20 popular car features that are quietly wrecking your vehicle's reliability, costing you money, and in some cases even putting you at risk. These so-called innovations may look shiny in brochures and commercials, but under the hood, they're ticking time bombs. Let's start with engine start-stop systems. It sounds efficient. Your engine cuts off at red lights to save gas. But in reality, it's punishing your battery, draining oil pressure, and wearing out your starter. These systems weren't designed to save you money. They exist to help car makers pass emissions tests. Over time, the constant restarts punish the battery, reduce oil pressure, and accelerate starter wear. They exist primarily to help manufacturers meet emissions targets, not to save you money.
The smart move? Turn it off if you can, and consider permanently disabling it, especially if you're out of warranty.
Next, we have haptic touch controls and flashy digital panels. Sure, they look futuristic, but they replace simple buttons with complicated software that lags, freezes, and often fails. Volume, climate, and navigation controls are buried behind layers of menus. One wrong tap and you're blasting cold air instead of adjusting the map while flying down the freeway. When the screen dies, you lose everything from backup cameras to speedometers. Then there's the tire mobility kit, or should we say the good luck kit. Manufacturers ditched the full-size spare to save weight, handing you a can of sealant and a tiny compressor. That won't help if you've got a sidewall blowout or tear. Worse, the sealant can ruin your TPMS sensors, leaving you with a damaged tire and a sensor bill. Modern cars also come with cramped engine bays. Everything's so tightly packed that simple jobs become difficult. Replacing a belt or even a bulb can require removing bumpers or panels, adding shop hours and costs. For DIYers, it's a nightmare. And more time for the mechanic means more money from you. Modern cars also come with cramped engine bays. Everything's tightly packed, making repairs harder and more expensive. Steering wheel controls were meant to be helpful, but they've become overly complicated. Scroll wheels, touchpads, and buried menus make controls distracting and unreliable. One wrong tap can change ventilation or navigation. When the screen dies, you can lose cameras and speedometers. Then there's keyless entry. Misplace the fob and your car's useless. They're expensive to replace and easy for criminals to exploit. Relay attacks and signal cloning are increasingly common. These attacks are becoming more frequent and easier to perform. Sometimes simplicity really is security. Button and dial shifters sound like innovation until you're panicking in traffic hunting for reverse. They lack tactile feedback and muscle memory. When milliseconds matter, these over-designed systems could put you and others in danger. What about turbocharged engines? They're fun until they aren't. They run hot and put extra stress on seals, pistons, and cooling systems. Turbo failures are expensive and often cause collateral engine damage. While some brands get it right, most don't. The boost often comes at the cost of long-term reliability. Cylinder deactivation is another efficiency gimmick. It leads to lifter wear, misfires, and sometimes complete failure before 50,000 miles. The gas savings? Minimal. The risk? Major. Direct injection sounds efficient, but it causes carbon buildup on intake valves. That buildup restricts airflow and kills performance. Cleaning it requires a pricey walnut blasting service, not something most drivers expect. Electronic parking brakes ditch the handbrake lever for a button, but if that button fails, or your battery dies, you're stuck. These systems are harder to fix, and many mechanics charge extra to work on them. And don't get us started on dual-clutch transmissions, DCTs. Yes, they shift fast, but in real-world driving, they're jerky and unpredictable. And they're expensive to repair unless you're a track enthusiast. Unless you're tracking your car on weekends, they offer more hassle than benefit. Then there's the continuously variable transmission, or CVT. In practice, they slip, overheat, and sometimes fail often. Some models, most famously certain Nissan units, have reputations for disaster. Toyota and Honda have improved theirs, but trust in the tech is still shaky. Air suspension systems might feel like a luxury, but one small leak and the whole system can collapse, literally. Compressors, sensors, and air bladders fail frequently, and repairs are brutally expensive. It's a soft ride until your wallet takes a hard hit. Then we have driver assist features, intended to help with lane keeping and alerts, but they often just annoy and confuse with false alarms. Sudden steering corrections and sensor errors can feel like you're fighting your own car, and if anything fails, recalibrating sensors can cost a fortune. Glass roofs look great in photos, but in real life, they bring trade-offs. They heat up your cabin, reduce structural integrity, and cost a lot to fix when they crack or leak. In a rollover, that panoramic view can become a flying glass hazard. Ambient lighting is more gimmick than upgrade. It doesn't help you drive, it just adds distraction and drains power. Auto parking systems are another premium feature most people don't need. These systems fail or give up mid-maneuver, leaving you to rescue the park. Worse, they make drivers dependent and erode basic parking skills. Electronic throttle control or drive-by-wire replace the old cable. Now your pedal talks to a computer, introducing delay and unpredictability. If a sensor fails, the car can go into limp mode, reducing power unexpectedly. Simple throttle cables rarely failed. Modern sensors add complexity and failure points. And finally, automatic high beams sounded like a helpful convenience. In reality, they can flick on too late, blind oncoming drivers, and react poorly to fog. Manual high beams work just fine, no mystery sensors required.
So there you have it. 20 car features that might look like upgrades, but quietly damage reliability, increase costs, and reduce safety. At the Auto Authority, we believe car tech should serve you, not the other way around. Before you fall for the next trend, think about long-term performance, cost of ownership, and staying in control.